everybody, welcome to episode number 2 of What If the Eredivisie and the Juplier League had 1 billion balance. We are on season 2. We have gone to the 5th of August 2019. What we're going to do is going to be the similar layout as the first episode. We are going to check out the sackings first. We're then going to check out the transfers. We will then look at the league table. After that, we will then look at how the clubs did in the Europa League and the Champions League. So going forward, the first one to be sacked was Petrovic, got sacked from Grafschap. Go Ahead Eagles also sacked Menzo as well, and there was another sacking by MVV, sorry. Van Nistelrooy didn't last very long at FC Os. He got sacked after the first season. And then going on to the signing, so Gattuso has joined De Graafschap. Van Arum has taken over FC Os. Rutten takes over PEC. It's Fred Rutten. FC Groningen have sacked Faber. Mascant takes charge at MVV. And Go Ahead Eagles hire 10 Kate as manager. Going forward, a little bit more forward, we've got ADO have sacked Groningen appoint Jans as interim manager. FC Heidenhoven hire Seedorf. So Clarence Seedorf, back in football management, goes to FC Heidenhoven. ADO hired Dal Canto as manager, Alessandro Dal Canto. Hercules sacked the manager Stegman. Hercules hire Laudrup as manager. That's a very good signing. Utrecht sacked De Boer. That's strange. Koeman, so Ronald Koeman has gone to the FC Utrecht job. Almere City for the second season in a row has sacked Bonnie Frey. Jans takes over at FC Groningen. Ron Jans. Tehutu takes charge at Almeria. De Hong has been sacked by Willem II. It would then hire Gattuso as the manager. So looking at that, that's very strange. So Gattuso got a job. Where was I seeing this? I am sure we've just been through the Gattuso one, but I'm pretty sure Gattuso has moved to 2 different clubs. I don't know if I'm just seeing things or imagining things, but I'm pretty sure Gattuso, we've just mentioned him. I may be completely dreaming here, but I'm sure we've just mentioned Gattuso, but he is now the manager of Willem II. De Graafschap hired Drix as manager. Telstar have sacked Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Bosun leaves FC Den Bosch. Young AZ part company with Haar. And Menzo takes Telstar 1963 hot seat. And also the very last one on the 8th of July. Van Wilk takes FC Den Bosch. So you know they're the manager sackings. So it's a lot of changes going on in Holland at the moment. A lot of people changing jobs really quickly. We're all seeing a hell of a lot of sackings. Compensation doesn't apply. They've got a lot of money in the bank. I will back in a second and we'll go look at the transfers. And welcome back, guys. We are now on the transfers. So we left you on June 2018 in the last episode. We are now moving through this season, so we're on July 2018. And the first one that stands out to us is obviously Casper Dahlberg. 44 million he's gone to Real Madrid for. So despite Ajax having all the money, obviously the rep is playing a massive part right now. So Dahlberg has gone to Real Madrid. The only other major transfer really is Christian Basogo has signed from, I imagine, a Chinese team. Vitesse have spent 34 million on this guy. 23-year-old winger. A pretty good player, so you know I don't think he's worth 34 million if I'm honest with you. He's only 23, but he's obviously very physical. He's got good dribbling, but 34 million, that's the biggest one we've seen so far. Another one, Daniel Bragnaka. Sorry, I'm so sorry for these. Has gone from Sporting to ADO for 17.5 million. So a lot of money being spent in the second season in July. Dennis Bonaventure has gone from Club Brugge to Feyenoord. This is Dennis, another winger, 21-year-old, but again, 15 million. A few more transfers within the league as well. Zidane Jr. has gone from Tedder to PSV for 9 million. You know, clubs are starting to spend a bit of money. There's also a lot of players leaving as well. But as you can see, there is a lot of transfers within the leagues at the moment. Ajax are signing a few players, but really, apart from that, there is a lot of transfers going on in these leagues right now. As you can see, it just goes on forever. So that is July 2018. We move on to August. So nothing really much. Again, a few transfers within the leagues. Anita has signed from Leeds to PSV for 7 million. Keita has signed from Birmingham to FC20. Denswell has gone from Club Brugge to Feyenoord for 5 million. Apart from that, not really much else to tell you about. You can see on the screen right now if you are wanting to look a little bit further down. Going on to September, this is after the transfer window. You can see just loans, nothing really else to tell you about in there. Going forward, obviously going into December now, there's still a few more loans. Into January now, so we've got one big transfer right here, which is Nicolas Ruskin, who has signed from Ghent to PEC for 15.75 million. Gertrudia has gone from NAC to VVV. And then another one, a lot of transfers within the league. Hamburger, Ricky van Drongelen has gone from Hamburg to Feyenoord. There's another one just here. Eredivise has gone from Shakhtar to PSV for 9.5. There's still a lot of money being spent, which is good. This is what we want to see. I have a feeling a few more seasons will be even bigger. Going into February, there was a one transfer really that stands out, which is the Wijnaldum deal from FC20, LA Galaxy, but that's a transfer out of Holland, so that doesn't really apply. And then going into March, April, there was a 4.5 million from Feyenoord to LA Galaxy. And we're going to stop at June, and then next one we'll show you July on next episode. So in June 2019, we have got Christopher Marmegi has gone from VVV to FC20 for 19 million. Feyenoord have sold a player to Canberra for 5.25, and Vitesse have purchased someone. Lost someone to Ajax for 4.6 million. You know, still there's a lot of money being spent than there usually would be. There's a lot of free transfers as well. You know, still not as much money as I thought. Not really many big players coming in just yet. Hopefully the teams are improving and they will obviously challenge for Europe. And then obviously we can see a lot more transfers. But at the moment, like I say, this is going to be a 10-part series. We're going to see what happens in 10 years with all this money. So it's going to look good. And I'll be back in a second. We're going to show you the league table for the second season. See if any of the money has affected anything within the league tables. Please do let me know in the comments if you feel that something's a little bit strange. Like I say, I don't know the Dutch football that much. Obviously, I know the Feyenoords, the Ajaxes, but Roda, Kerkrade, I know they got relegated last season. Let's see if they've been promoted. You know, if there's anything really odd, please do drop a like and obviously drop a comment as well. That'd be great. So I'll be back in a second when we look at the league tables. And welcome back, guys. Today here we are on the Eredivisie, the second season, the 2018-19 season. Ajax managed to knock Feyenoord off the top just by a point. Again, it's very, very close. PSV, AZ and SC finished third, fourth and fifth. Relegated teams are Willem, Hercules and Sittard have been relegated to the Jupiler League. I'm going to quickly look at the Jupiler League now as well. Let's go back a season. The Young PSV managed to win the Jupiler League. Young Ajax as well. Helmond Sport, Roda and Sparta Rotterdam was the teams that was promoted though. So them three do go in to the Eredivisie next season. FC Os got relegated, despite them obviously had Van Nistelrooy as well last season. So, you know, not the best of seasons for them. So yeah, that's the league tables for the second season. Do you think there's any shocks right there? That is obviously the first season. Let's go back up to the Eredivisie, as you can see right here. So would you expect these teams to finish where they are? Is any teams overperforming with the money? Is any teams kind of underperforming as well? Well, that is the league table for the second season. Next, we are going to look at the Europa League. And then finally, I'm going to add something new. We're going to look at all the teams in the Eredivisie. We're going to look at the finances, because obviously we're going to do that about every 2 seasons to see where they're at. So I'll be back in a second when we look for the Europa League. Okay guys, welcome back. We are at the Europa League group stages for last season. So we're going to basically go through the teams and have a look if any of the Dutch teams did make a performance. Obviously in the first season, we've seen teams get finished bottom of the group in every single competition, which wasn't the best thing. Again, AZ finished 4th in their group, only finished on 4 points. So that's not very good for them. Apart from that, we had Ajax finish 3rd, so Ajax still, despite them obviously in the first season finishing 2nd, which made them qualify for the Europa League, they still didn't do very well last season. They managed to obviously finish 3rd this time around on 7 points. They had a pretty odd group though, Marseille and Spartak Moscow as well, so still I should be expecting them to do better. Though, looking, I've just seen in the corner of my eye, PSV managed to qualify for the knockout rounds this season. They finished second in their group. So we're going to have a quick look at the next round. Be the first knockout round just here. Let's see if PSV managed to get through. So PSV, where are you? There they are. So PSV did get knocked out by Lille 2-1 on aggregate. So PSV didn't go any further. Looking at this as well, I'm still looking for Feyenoord. Did Feyenoord get knocked out of the Champions League? It doesn't look like it. So maybe Feyenoord finished bottom of their group again, which will be disastrous if that happened. Hopefully Feyenoord managed to get quite far in the Champions League. Let's hope they got to the knockout rounds. So we're going to quickly look at the Champions League right now. Let's go to stages. Let's go back a season. And let's go to the group stages. See where Feyenoord actually finished this season. So, looking right here, Feyenoord again, they probably had the group of death. They finished on 0 points. They didn't get a single point from their group game, which means obviously this is the Champions League. Finishing third, you would qualify for the Europa League. But no, not a single point. I mean, that is the group of death really, I suppose, if you are a Feyenoord team. Apart from that, there was no other Dutch teams in the Champions League. So Feyenoord are letting us down for 2 seasons in a row. Both times finished 4th. It's just not good enough. We're going to move on to, let's quickly show you let's go to Feyenoord really quick. And let's go to the Eredivisie. So we're going to go from the top. So you can see the balance. ADO have only got £550 million left, which they've got a remaining budget of £164 million to spend. They aren't spending it. That's the issue. The wage budget is still quite low as well. Moving on to Ajax. Ajax has still got £795 million in the bank. They've got a season budget of £195. Looking at AZ, they've got £732 million. So most teams, as you can see, have got around £190 million to spend. And most of them are between £500 and £700 million in the balance. So, you know, they're not really spending this money just yet. And I think for them to challenge for the Champions League and the Europa League, I think they need to spend the money. You know, if they spend the money, they've got a chance to increase the rep. But no, apart from that, looking at the balance, again, £512 million there. They need to spend the money. The wage budgets are quite low. I mean, Feyenoord, I've got the biggest one on 825 I've seen. I mean, this is quite shocking. Look at this. So, Feyenoord, the biggest team in Holland right now, obviously in terms of the Champions League and stuff, I've got a 825,000 wage budget. If you go down to Helmond Sport, they have got 500 in the balance, which is like 300 million lower than Feyenoord, but they've got a 2.92 million budget. You know, their chairman's wanting them to spend this money. They're giving them a big wage budget. Obviously, they need to improve the facilities as well. Another one here, 1.59. I don't even know what that team is. I don't know if I need a name fix. NEC, sorry. I don't think that should say that. Let me know in the chat. NAC Brada or Breda. I think we need the name fixes actually. Something's gone wrong here. So 500 million in the balance, 118 million left to spend. PEC, I've got 521 million with a 272k wage budget. PSV got only 400 million left in the bank. So PSV are spending a lot of money when you look at some of the money that the other teams have got left. You can see obviously the managers and the key players right here as well. They've got Nasri, we must have missed that one. So yeah, 1.57 wage budget. Looking at Roda, so Roda's got they've lost a lot of money. They've only got 494, that's the lowest I think we've seen. Sporting Club, I've got 453 million in the bank at 1.27 million wage budget. Sparta Rotterdam, 496, they've got a massive wage budget of 2.82 million. And then Vitesse, I've got 653 million left, the 1.67 million wage budget. And then this team, I have no idea who this is. VVV, I've got 467 million and at 1.09 million wage budget. So that is the wage budgets, and that is the end of episode 2. I hope you enjoyed it. We've tried to go a little bit more in depth this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do drop a like on the video. That would mean the world. And I will see you next time for episode 3. I'm still waiting for this money to be spent. I'm still waiting for Feyenoord or Ajax or whoever compete in the Champions League. And I will see you next time. Out.